talk about some numbers and some math. And if you were in my class, we talked a couple times about something called a 10 frame. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about today is 10 frames. Let me show you what a 10 frame is. This is a 10 frame. And this is what it looks like. It's called a 10 frame because it has 10 spots on it. And it helps us count. So let me show you what I mean. This is a 10 frame with all of the numbers on it. And if you see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, if you look, there's one number in each spot. I don't have a 1 and a 2 in one spot. I don't have a 2 and a 3 in one spot. Only one number gets one spot. And if you see, I've got a little smiley face right here, and that's where we know to start. So you always start counting on your 10 frames where the number 1 is, in this square. So you're not starting over here where the 5 is. You're starting where the 1 is, and you always start on the top line right here at this first spot. So you don't have a number 1 down here on the bottom line. No, that's not where we start counting on our 10 frame. We start counting up at the top. Now, once you count to 5, so once you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your number 6 always goes underneath where the 1 is. So you go from 5 and you go all the way back over here to where your number 1 is, and you go 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, you can't put any numbers or anything in your bottom part of your 10 frame until the entire top row is filled. So now I'm going to show you how to count using your 10 frame. Okay, so here is my blank 10 frame. There are no markers on here at all. Nothing I'm counting with, nothing. So I would say that there is 0. The number is 0, and this is what 0 looks like. So that's 0. There's nothing on here, it's 0. So if I want to count the number 1, this is what it looks like. I take one counter. It can be anything that you have at your house or anything if you're at school that you have at school, and you're going to go right here in that first block, that first square, and put your counter there. So that's 1. Now look where I started. If you look at this sheet that I showed you before, that's where you count 1, is in that top square right here. Nowhere else, that's where 1 goes. Okay, so that's the number 1. If I was going to count 1, that's the number 1. If I was going to count 1, it looks like that on my 10 frame. So now we're going to erase our board, erase our 10 frame, and we're going to go to the next number, which is 2. Now, if I'm going to count 2 on my 10 frame, this is what it looks like. 1 and 2. That's what 2 looks like. Just like on the numbers that I showed you before. That's where 2 is. And here is where 2 looks like with your counters. Okay, let's take our counters off. And we're going to go to the next number. Can you guess what it is? 3. So if you wanted to count 3 on your 10 frame, this is what it's going to look like. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. And I always start right here in this square. That's where I start. That's how I count on my 10 frame. Always starting right here at that corner, right there. And if you look, that's where I had number 3. So it's in the same square. All right, now I'm going to erase my board and go to the next number. And the next number is 4. Now they make their 4 on these cards a little bit differently than we make our 4. Our 4 looks like that right there. That is our 4. I'm pointing to it. So we're going to count 4. Ready? Remember where we start? Always start right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's what 4 looks like on our 10 frame. All right, next number. Let me erase it. Next number is 5. Now 5 is pretty awesome because we are going to fill up a whole row with our 5. Now you still always have to start in that corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Look, I filled a whole row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's the number 5. We counted 5 on our 10 frame. Excellent job. All right, let's clear our boards. Next number. You know what the next number is? What comes after 5? Ah, good job. 6. So remember, 6 has that big belly right there. So we're going to count 6. Now it's important that you watch this. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now my whole entire first row is filled. Where do I go next? Good question. You come down underneath where you start with the number 1, and that's where you put 6. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 always goes underneath where number 1 went, just like on our 10 frame right here. See, there's number 1, and there is 6. Good job. All right, let's clear your boards, and let's go to the next number. The next number is 7. 7. Always start right here in this corner on your 10 frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, the top row is filled. Where do you go? Back underneath by 1, 6, and these two are together, 7. So that's what 7 looks on our 10 frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good job. All right, let's clear our board. Next, 8. There's 8. Let's count. We start with this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good job. There's 8. Clear our boards. Next is 9. And if you remember, 9 has that big head. That's how I remember 9. Now you always start in this corner right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, our top row is filled. We have to go to the next row, and you always start over here, back underneath 1, 6, 7, 8, and 9. That's what 9 looks on your 10 frame. And our last number is 10. Now this is called a 10 frame. So I'm wondering how many spots are going to be filled up on my 10 frame. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go underneath where 1 was. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Look, my whole 10 frame is filled up. That's why when I have number 10, the whole thing is filled up. Friends, thanks for joining me today to talk about 10 frames. So you could make your own 10 frame if you wanted to practice. All you need is a little sheet of paper, and you can have your mom and dad make 10 squares on a paper, and you can practice making numbers on your 10 frame. Maybe you could watch this video again and practice with Mrs. Shirley when she's doing it. And you can use anything as counters. I had these at home, but you could use coins. You could use any sort of bingo chips that you have. You could use anything. You could use feathers. You could use rocks. Anything that you have at your house that you could use on your 10 frame to practice making numbers. So I'll see you soon. Bye, my friends.